We got a couple questions. You ready?
Ask away.
All right. How much compensation should a new LO with no book of business be expecting?
Not much. You shouldn't be expecting much. You better get in when you fit in. Like, I don't know. Don't expect much. Like, don't expect. Like, it depends on where you're going to work, first of all, because there's 3 different types of people. You got retail banks, which is the big banks. You have mortgage bankers like me, and then you have mortgage brokers. Everybody got different compensation plans. So depending on where you're going to work, is going to ultimately determine your compensation. I would recommend going to a big bank so you get some training, get some disciplines, learn how the structure. Maybe they provide leads, get your foot wet, right, before you come to the dark side and worry about making big money. You ain't got no book. You can't worry about money. You got to worry about education.
So get your foot wet, not your feet.
Get your feet wet.
Oh, okay.
Your foot, your feet, same thing.
All right. So can you explain that 110% with 203K? I don't even know what that means.
I really don't want to explain this.
Okay.
I have a whole video on 203Ks already.
Yeah, there's some comments coming in on that.
Basically,
on that video.
you can get up to 110% financing basically for the repairs.
Okay.
So it's a lot of factors that go into it in terms of what the house is going to appraise for, how much room is in the budget. It's a FHA worksheet that you got to do that will really tell you if you can go up to 110%. But I don't really recommend going above the 10%. So basically, you can go 10% above of what the value is.
Okay.
To get more repair money. But I don't really recommend that because now you're upside down now. Right? So I really don't recommend 110% of repairs. Like,
got you.
You're pulling out too much. It's like forced equity. Now you're upside down.
Okay. Are you familiar with when black people owned the most land since any time after the 16th century?
What?
Are you familiar with when black people owned the most land anytime after or since any time after the 16th century?
I have no clue.
Yeah,
maybe they know. Why would you pick that question out of all questions?
It's Pierre. You know.
Oh, Pierre. Oh, yeah. Okay. Pierre be having some shit, bro. Pierre, maybe we need to get you on the channel.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I guess that's not familiar. So did we set up the VA loans video? So I wanted to do a VA loans video, but that's more like we gotta set a day for that. I don't feel like we could just come in here and be like, all right, let's talk about VA loans. Tomorrow's the last day of the webinar, Matt.
Yep.
Yeah. So maybe that'll probably be next week, I think.
I got a whole class that's coming out. It's a 10-week class.
Yeah.
From May 9th to July 11th. If you're on the webinar, you heard me talk about it. Right? And it's 20 classes composed in 10 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And every Tuesday we're going to meet. And in that class, I'll have workbooks, assessments, all types of shit. I might discuss some VA stuff in the beginning, early lessons. I don't know.
Okay. And then we'll also talk about it on the channel at some point, maybe next week.
Probably not.
That's a yes. All right. So we have a super chat. That was a super chat. Did we do a VA loans video? So I'm sure we will. I think it's just a lot going on this week. Okay. Question here. I own my own home and time and another partial. I own my own home. I own my own home and time and another partial of property, and I am wanting to get into real estate game, but I'm having a hard time getting a loan to purchase property. Any answers for that? I'm trying to break it down this first part. Own time, another partial property, and I'm wanting to get into real estate. I'm having a hard time getting a loan. I'm probably gonna say we need more information for that. What do you think, Matt?
What was the question?
I own my own home and time and another partial of property, and I am wanting to get into the real estate game, but I'm having a hard time getting a loan to purchase property.
What's wrong? Why they not getting a loan?
That's what I'm saying. Kind of need more information, no?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't know why they not getting a loan.
I don't even understand the way it was. You know, sometimes I got to read these questions, and I feel like an idiot reading them. Okay, so some more information. What do you think about infinite banking?
Everything's a tool.
Everything's a tool.
Everything's a tool.
What is infinite banking?
I'm not getting into that.
Okay. All right. Next question. Let me see what's going on down here. Townhome. I joined a learning center today. Before the first presentation, I can't figure out how to access it. How do they access the learning center?
mgbookstore.com.
They joined a day before the first presentation.
Okay, then check your emails, or email help@mgbookstore.com if you don't have access to it.
Okay. All right. So, how can a small business get into real estate? I have an embroidery business, and I'm looking to use some funds to bring in an additional income.
Say that again.
How can a small business get into real estate? She has a business, she has a business, and she's looking to use some funds to bring in additional income.
What are you asking me? All right, guys, can we get some better questions here? What are you asking me, Tooks?
I don't know. I'm trying to. So for me, I'm trying to answer the questions. Trying to learn. So like for myself.
But what are you asking me?
Whatever the question is, but some of these now, I could see now sometimes why you get frustrated because
I'm not frustrated.
Not frustrated. Why when these questions are asked, it's kind of like, where's the information? Where's the context? So guys, it's kind of hard to answer certain questions if there's not enough information. If you're not giving like enough context to what the situation is, it's kind of hard to just kind of leave the question vague and then have I don't want to say us, but more so him figure it out because we don't have enough information to give you the right.
Well, I don't know. Like, I swear, the questions that you asked me so far, I really don't. It's not. Like,
that's what they are. That's literally what it is. So yeah. I don't know. Just need more information. So try to put as much, info in as possible about your situation.
Yeah, this ain't working. That's not working, bro.
We got another super chat. Just want to say thanks for the inspiration, MG.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Brandon. Shout out to Brandon with the super chat.
Hope this is the right sound.
What sound? I don't hear no sound.
Hopefully.
No one heard no sound. I didn't hear nothing.
Oh, I heard it.
What sound was it?
It was the clapping. Thank you for the super chat, Brandon. Sorry for the confusion. I have a 740 credit score and I have a house paid for with a small plot of land and I own a business now.
Okay.
Okay, so all right, so let's try this. So Robert, what's causing you to have a hard time purchasing a house? Because I think you mentioned that you're having a hard time getting property. I think that was the question before. Yeah. Or having a hard time getting a loan to purchase property. Any answers for that? And you have a 740 credit score.
Is he self-employed?
I think it was
like. What's the hard time? What are the loan officers telling you of why you can't get a loan?
Yeah.
What's the real problem here? Because the credit score doesn't mean anything. I know people with 850 credit scores that can't get approved for loans.
So he said, I think you asked if he was self-employed. He said, yeah.
That's probably the problem. It's because you're not showing enough income. So you're probably trying to do like a FHA, conventional. Yeah. All right, what income we use, gross or net?
So I was just going to ask about this because that's the one thing that I don't fully understand is income when it comes to self-employed. And I feel like once I understand that, I can kind of, be on my way. But when it comes to income, What did they look at? You said gross or net.
Yeah.
Okay, so which one?
You tell me.
Well, I'm trying to ask you because I don't really know. If I knew, I would probably try to answer it.
Okay. So we've had this conversation many times. We had a
We've
whole
had, and I'm picking up certain.
self-employed
I'm picking up
conversation.
certain parts. That self-employed was like 3-4 months ago.
Okay.
We got to do that over, actually.
No.
Yes, we do. So, gross or net?
Net.
Net.
Net. You're
Okay.
self-employed. We're going off the net income.
Okay.
So why wouldn't someone qualify, Tooks?
Because they don't make enough.
They're not showing enough net income after all the expenses. So you can make
Right.
$1 million of gross income as a self-employed business owner, but say you wrote off $950,000 of that as expenses. So you're only paying taxes on your $50,000, not the million, because you wrote off $950,000.
So, but is it say? So net is technically what's on paper. Is that how you're looking at
That
it?
is what's on paper after your expenses.
Okay. So the only way to qualify is if you make more money, or if you show more money.
Show enough net income, and then you will be taxed on that.
He said he grossed 121 last year.
Gross,
Yeah.
not net.
So the way I'm looking at it is, okay, well, when you like, how much are you writing off technically?
Exactly. So in order for him to probably qualify, he probably needs to show the full 121
To qualify for what?
for anything that he's looking to buy. All right, what's 121,000 divided that by 12?
You want me to pull out my calculator here?
Yeah.
Okay.
121,000 divided by 12. How much is that? Type in chat.
It's 10,083.
$10,083, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you think about it, what is he trying to buy? $500,000, $600,000 home?
Let's just say if it was 600,000.
What's his name?
Robert. He's still
Robert.
going
How much is the house? How much are the property taxes? Let's do some math, ladies and gentlemen. Math.
Let's just say 600,000.
No,
I mean, what's the average cost in New York right
We're
now?
going to do the DTI calculation right now.
Okay, yeah, that'll really help me out because my friends have an
What he
issue.
say?
65,000 is what I was taxed on.
Okay, great. So 65,000. How much is the house?
400,000.
How much are the property taxes?
Why do property taxes matter?
Because it's part of your pity. What's your pity?
Part of what?
Pity. What's pity?
Like PITY?
PITI. Principal, interest, taxes, and insurance.
You lost me there.
So your mortgage payment is comprised of your principal and interest payment, which goes to the bank,
Mm-hmm.
your taxes, which is the property taxes,
Okay.
and your insurance. So pity. PITI. Principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. So we need to know what his monthly payment would be, because if he's showing he's only netting $65,000 a year, how much is that a month? 5,000 and some change. 5,000 times 12 is 60. So you figure, what is he at? $6,100 a month, or $6,050 a month, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
So you figure if he's trying to go FHA, let's just say the max debt to income ratio is 50%, right?
Okay.
So if he's making if he net 65,000, that's $5,416 a month. If you divide that by 2, that comes to $2,708. So let's just say let's assume he was going FHA, right?
Mm-hmm.
His max mortgage payment plus the monthly minimum payments on his credit report cannot exceed 50% of that $5,400 monthly gross number, which in this case, it can't exceed $2,700, right? So if he's buying a house for $400,000, how much is the taxes, he said? Did he say? How much the taxes are?
$1,200 a year.
So if you got $1,200 a year in taxes on a $400,000 home, right? So let's do the math right now. Let's just say let's assume he was going FHA and he was putting down 3.5% down, which the down payment would be $14,000. Let's just say even if you got him 5.75% in today's market, you got $1,200 in taxes. So let's just make it $1,300 because people numbers are always wrong. let's just say the homeowner's insurance is $1,000 a year, right? So now we're looking at a payment of $26.63 a month in that same scenario. So if his max debt to income ratio can only go up to 27.08, and his mortgage payment by itself is $26.63, he has no room left for a car payment, a student loan, or anything like that. So his debt to income ratio is too high, and that's why he couldn't get approved for the mortgage. And that's why he said, right. So it's not a matter of your credit score.
Yeah.
See, people leave with credit scores all the time. Like, oh, I got an 800 credit score. Who cares? What is actually on your credit report? How much are those minimum payments?
Mm-hmm.
How much income are you showing, especially now you're self-employed? Now, remember, we're going to take a 2-year average of that. Now, if he's been self-employed for 5 years or more, we can use the most recent tax returns, right? But in this case, if he's buying his $400,000 house with these taxes, these property taxes, this homeowner's insurance, using an FHA loan, he's not going to have enough room to qualify. He would need to show more income. So depending on Robert's car payment,
Mm-hmm.
his credit card minimum payments, his possibly student loan payments, it would exceed $2,700. Hence why he said he's having a hard time.
Okay. There we go. See? All right. You broke that down pretty well, my friend. He said thank
Do
you
you
and God
understand
bless.
it, though?
No, I have to play it back. It's a
What
lot.
the fuck you mean you got to play it back? Ask your question. What don't you understand?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, that I just broke down debt to income ratio.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that back. That's honestly the only thing I really don't like fully understand. But you broke it down like excellent. But it's hard because like I really have to like be out of this element to understand it more.
But what's not to understand of what I just said?
Like how can you make it like more simple?
How much more simple?
Because there was a lot of numbers and like all this. Like,
Okay, so let's
make it
start this
very
up.
very simple.
This is as simple as it's gonna get. He makes $65,000 net.
Okay.
Divide that by 12. What am I coming up with? If I divide that by 12, what's that number? Just tell me what
That was
number.
that's what you asked before, right? 10,083.
No, 65,000.
Oh, that was a different.
It's his
number then.
net.
Okay, 65,000.
Yes, you divide that by 12. That means he makes
$5,416
$5,416 a month.
Right.
If the max debt to income ratio is 50% of his net income, monthly net income, then what is the max that his mortgage payment plus the minimum payments on his credit reports can go up to? So you do 5416. Now divide that by 2. That's 50%.
2,708.
Exactly. So he can't exceed a 2708 monthly payment plus car loan payment plus whatever else is on his credit report. So let's just say the mortgage payment would have came out to $2,000 a month, right?
Okay.
Then he has a buffer of $700 a month that those other bills can fall into in order to get him approved.
But so whatever he has to be within that $700
based off the
credit
income,
payments, car loan.
Exactly,
Okay.
but based off of the income that he's showing, and the program requirements are 50% DTI, so it's all based off of that.
So that's it. That's basically it.
It's very simple.
Okay. And are all loan products 50%?
No,
So this is for what, FHA?
this is FHA,
So
and in
conventional.
some cases you can go higher than 50% on FHA. You can go up to 55%, but that's danger zone.
What do you mean you can or
You can, depending on the lender, but some lenders will have overlays that won't allow you to go above 50%. Because you got to remember, 50% of your gross income is really like, in his case, he's self-employed, so it's really his net.
yeah.
But if you're doing a W-2 person, we're using a gross, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going up to 55% of somebody's gross income, that's really like on their net income, what they're actually taking home after taxes,
Yeah.
it's probably like 70-something%. So they're like paycheck to paycheck.
So if if you're W-2, whatever you make after taxes, is that you're not looking at that. You're looking at the okay.
We're looking at the gross on W-2. On self-employed, we look at the net.
Can that be kind of dangerous though?
On?
Because like you're technically showing that you're making whatever it is, but you're actually taking home less than that.
For W-2 or self-employed?
W-2.
Yes, that's why I just said if you're getting qualified on a 55% back end,
Hmm.
it's really more like 75% because you get paid on you live your life based off your net.
Off of your net, right?
You don't live your life based off your gross. The banks are going to lend to you based off your gross.
Yeah.
But this is why I always say don't be house rich and cash poor. Because just because,
Mm.
and what I always say behind that, I say there's a difference between eligibility and
And affordability,
affordability.
right?
Eligibility, the bank will give you the loan. VA loans, you can go up 60, 65, 70% debt to income ratio. They'll put these poor veterans in a financial bond that they can't even afford these houses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they'll go up to a higher ratio. Now, in some cases, it makes sense because there's other household income and things of that nature, and on paper it's just high. But ultimately, everybody should be mindful of how much money they got going towards their housing expenses because that could eat up a great portion of your disposable cash. This is why you'll hear a lot of real estate people say single families are not an investment, it's a liability, right?
Mm.
Because there's no one paying it. You have
Right.
to pay for it out of your pocket. So if you're living in a house rich, cash poor environment, you're really robbing Peter to pay Paul every single month because all of your money is just going to have a roof over your head.
Interesting.
And this is why I
Interesting. Okay.
always say there's a difference between eligibility and affordability.
So what happens to people who are like on, let's say, disability or on Social Security income and they can't make any more money? What are the options for those people?
There's limited.
So you
Everything's
can't.
based off your income. So if you on, this is why I always tell my retired people, look, you're retiring in 2 years, 3 years, you still got this nice W-2.
Yeah.
You need to leverage. Like go balls to the wall before you retire because you're gonna be on a fixed income, less income. So if you're trying to buy real estate at that point, especially if you're trying to use traditional loan products where we need your W-2s and tax returns and things like that to
Yeah.
qualify you, you could be hurting yourself because you're on less income now.
Well, they always look at the last 2 years, right? So is that combined or it's just like the most
Average.
recent average of the
It
2 years?
depends. It depends. There's many different calculations, but it just really depends on their structure. Are they salaried? Are they hourly? Are they bonus, commission, self-employed? There's many different ways you have to calculate income, just depending.
Bonuses are included in that overtime.
If it's consistent for 2 years, yeah.
Also, if you just do overtime 1 week or maybe
Nah,
like a
it's not
couple
gonna
months
work.
at, oh
No,
no,
we don't use that. You can't
damn.
decide I'm gonna do overtime today because I know I'm buying a house in 6 months, and then now you want to use that overtime income as part of your income. No, it's
Yeah,
not
I'm sure
consistent.
people think that. I mean, I would have thought that
Of
too.
course, this is why we have MG the mortgage guy here and other real estate professionals that speak about these things so that the general public don't assume shit.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah, yeah.
know.
Okay, okay. All right, we got a super chat here.
Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge. How do I get in touch with you, MG? I set up an appointment and haven't gotten a call back. I'm ready to change my life. This was a comment we got earlier too on the chat.
I don't know who they setting appointments with.
Yeah.
Like, I love when people say that. Like, we set appointments. Like, who you setting an appointment with?
Was it through one of the links in the
Those links
description?
are shut off on our end. You can't even set an appointment right now.
Oh,
You can still put them out there, but you can't even set an appointment right now. The calendar's booked. It's full until further notice.
okay. Well, so is it an email?
No. Are you in contract? So I want to tell you guys something, and I want to mean this the most respectfully way. How can I say this without sounding like a complete asshole?
You probably can't.
I probably can't.
You probably can't.
I probably can't. Right? So I'm going to just say it.
Oh boy.
I love y'all. I really do. It is almost impossible. It is almost impossible to speak to everybody who wants to speak to me.
Well said. Well said.
This is why I do YouTube. This is why I do Instagram. I do TikToks. I do live events. I do in-person live events. I do webinars, summits like I'm having tonight at 7 o'clock for you guys to get a little bit more of a higher learning and be able to get questions asked and answered during these things to the best of our ability. If you're not in contract, it's very hard to prioritize someone who just wants to quote unquote pick your brain
Pick your brain.
versus someone who has an actual deal that's ready to go. You know what I'm saying? So it's very difficult. It's like, how do you balance this? If we let, and this is why the calendar is shut down right now for consultations, because it's too many of them.
Yeah.
And you get caught up with comments like, this is all booked the consultation. And I'm sorry, but a contract came in. You understand? That's more of an immediate need for the team to handle than someone who basically just wants to pick your brain or figure it out. Because you have to understand, a lot of these consultation calls really be stuff we're discussing on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think people just need to take more time to like learn and watch and kind of do research before you want to try to speak to someone, especially if you know you're not ready. So I'm trying not to be an asshole.
No, I don't think. I think that was pretty fair.
Yeah, I'm trying to be, because it's very. I would love to speak to everybody. My team would love to speak to everybody, right? But it's almost impossible. If a contract comes in, an investor has a refi they need to do because they buying another crib. Like, shit, I just got off the phone with Terrence Shea not too long ago because it is emergency call. Yo, da-da-da-da. All right, bet. Off this call, I'm on with you, right? Now I got to drop everything I'm doing because he's a super VIP. And when he calls, he's talking about big deals. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's very hard sometimes. And the team, we try our best. But this is why I told Ali, I said, yo, cut off the consultations right now. We have to focus on the contracts because this market is too volatile. And if you're not focused on the people who have the deals, you can be fucking up some money for them. Because, look, rates were just 6.3 the other day.
Yeah.
Today they closed out at 6.6.
Yeah.
Literally in 24 hours. This shit shifts too fast. And if you are caught up doing busy work, ladies and gentlemen, there's a difference between being busy and productive. There's a big difference. Most people run around every single day being busy. But if you really break down your day, was it really productive? Meaning, did it make you money? Most people will be happy to have a lot of leads calling them. And it's a blessing.
Yeah.
But that becomes busy work because there's nothing that could come out of this right now. It might come out of it 6 months or 10 months or something like that, but that don't help payroll, bills, lifestyle, savings, investing today.
Yeah.
So for all of us, this is just not a me mortgage kind of conversation that I'm trying to have with y'all right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is, yo, picking and choosing what serves you and what doesn't serve you. And I think oftentimes we get so caught up in things that don't serve us because we're being too nice. We have too much of a heart sometimes. We want to help, right? But as you're helping someone, it could ultimately hurt you. So you have to be able to choose what serves you properly and what is something that will not only help the other party, but what can help you. Almost not immediately, but a real tangible result can be tied back to that call, these meetings. I don't take meetings just to take meetings no more. I don't want to see you or speak to you. And I've had to learn that because I've spent countless years running around New York City, going from here to here to here, setting things up, just to perpetrate like I'm really being productive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fooling myself. Knowing damn well these 10 meetings with all these brokers ain't gonna pan out to shit. I'm just in their face for no reason. And this is why I went heavy on social, because I figured I don't have to go nowhere. I could just talk to a camera and I can have better results. It just made more sense to me. Do I want to get on live and talk to 300, 400, 500 people? Or do I want to go schlep around and run the streets and burn gas and get nothing from it?
Yeah.
Busy work, productive work. There's two columns that you got to feed. I don't want to be busy. I want to be productive. Certain things, it's just not productive, and it's respectfully. You have to know where is that fucking line that you must draw. Because if you don't, then you're not going to protect your peace, your energy, and your mentals, because now you're giving yourself to so many different things. It's like the old saying they say, work smarter, not harder.
Mm-hmm.
So certain things have to be sacrificed.
Yeah, you just got to go through it, though, first.
You have to grow through it.
Yeah.
Not go through it. See, I don't want to go through anything. I've gone through things in life, and it turned out to no results, because I was only focused on, I'm going through it. I got to go through this. This is part of the process. No, the process is I have to grow through these things, because if I now shift my mindset to say I'm growing, right, versus I'm looking at it in a pessimistic way, like I'm going through it, right?
Yeah.
So when you flip that mindset, going through it relates to me being pessimistic. Growing through it means I'm being optimistic that the results from whatever I'm growing through and the challenges that I have to go through and the adversities that I have to grow through will ultimately land me in a better place than I was before I went through this growing session.
Yeah.
But when you going through things, you mentally fucked and exhausted, because you feel like the weight of the world is on your back and your shoulders, because you are going through some sort of pain, some sort of turbulence.
Right.
You're going through the turbulence versus trying to grow through it. You see, when you're in a plane, the pilots, they get nasty turbulence. They either want to fly above it or fly below it. They don't want to go through that shit because there's going to be more turbulent.
That's a good analogy.
It's going to be super turbulent. No, grow through that bitch. You got to figure out how do I got to maneuver around this bitch? Because the turbulence ain't going nowhere. It's how am I going to look at the objective? Going through it causes more turbulence. Growing through it, which is finding a way, either fly above it, fly below it, and then figure out for then and adjust accordingly. If this ain't working, now we got to adjust. Because we went back to going through something. No, that wasn't the goal. The goal was to grow through that bitch. So that's just how I try to treat my energy and my time, and what I'm doing is to grow through these things and to limit and sacrifice things.
So yeah, super chat again from Jamal. He said, I respect it. I know you're busy. I'm ready, and I want to start, and I want to close within the next 3 months before I leave this duty station. May you point me to a great realtor in San Antonio area, please. Booked 3 weeks before appointment stopped.
I have no clue what you just said.
I respect it, and I know you're busy. I'm ready and want to close within 3 months before I leave this duty station. May you point me to a great realtor in San Antonio area, please. Booked 3 weeks before appointment stopped. So.
Oh, this was the same guy who said it's another appointment?
Yeah, they booked.
So Jamal, I will say email garlandgroup@unmb.com, and just put in the subject, MG said to email. And then I'll see it, and I'll make sure you get a call.
Cool. Well, I mean, I think you said that in a respectable way. It wasn't a...
Nah, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to nobody. Because I appreciate it. First and foremost, like, I appreciate people wanting to speak to the team and do business with us. I always say, if you're learning from me, you should work with me, right? But there's a certain way that I have to work, too.
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes there's calls missed because there's so many of them sometimes, and no matter how much we try to navigate through it, other things come up. So what's priorities, right?
Yeah.
Should have been some sort of communication? Absolutely. Maybe that was just a lapse on the team. And we can be accountable for that. Like, because shit happens. We ain't perfect. We grow through a lot of customer service things.
Yeah.
But this is why I had to make the decision like, yo, nah. How are these consultations called? Because my frame of mind is, what's the results? Are these leading into deals, or are these leading to extended YouTube type of conversations and Q&A sessions?
Yeah.
And from what the team tells me, it's more of Q&A sessions and picking your brain.
Mm-hmm.
So then that deters people. So it's like, all right, let's not even do that.
It's funny because there's a lot of people in here most of the time, and I just kind of feel like a lot of people are scared to ask questions.
Well, you shouldn't be scared to ask questions. You should always ask a question, right? Because there's no such thing as a stupid question. Just make sure you take your time to ask a question properly. Formulate your thought process, because it's very difficult to ask generic questions. But this is why we have to teach how to ask the right questions too. Is this is like you're interviewing me as well, right? So, but you have to learn how to interview someone, right? No one wakes up or is born a boss. Like, you have to grow from being a boss to being a leader. That takes time, right? No one teaches you, how do I interview someone for a position, right? I didn't learn that nowhere in school, right? So you have to go through these things. So even when we formulate our questions, to make them as intelligent as we can, so the professional on the other end can fully articulate what you're trying to get across, so they can really answer you. That's very important. Effective communication is very important. A lot of people don't have effective communication. Shit. Even me, sometimes I don't have effective communication. I have to sit my ass down and say, what the hell am I trying, what the hell am I trying to do?
Yeah, it happens all the time. But I think that the biggest problem is not knowing the right terms, or, because you can feel stupid asking a question because you don't really know how to ask it. And I feel like that's mostly me when I ask a lot of these questions. They may be stupid, but it's because I don't really know how to ask it and what phrases to use or what terms to use. But that's why I say, like, if you guys have any questions, just don't be scared to ask them, because I think that we'll be able to try to break it down so you guys can get the information you guys are looking for. So chat moves fast, and most questions get missed, in addition to other reasons. That's a fact. Do you make the attic basement? Hey, Matt, I have a 2-family home. How do you make the attic and the basement livable space legally?
Ask your town. I don't know. I don't know where you live. I don't know your rules. So I would say you got to ask the town.
An attic can be livable legally?
Mm-hmm.
An attic. Interesting.
Absolutely.
I know basements, usually on Long Island, that's a very common thing. But yeah, that's definitely a town question. I'm curious myself about that one. We have a super chat from Errol. Thank you for the super chat. My appraiser only appraised 1 of 2 units of a duplex I'm under contract for. Who should I cuss out, him or the lender?
What do you mean, who you want to curse out?
My appraiser only appraised 1 of the 2 units of a duplex I'm under contract for.
Could he get into the second unit?
Need more information there. Yeah.
What's the reason why?
Yeah. Cuss out.
It happens.
Yeah. Can you go back and read my super chat? Brandon, let me see. Let me take a look. Oh, my bad. I plan on doing a cash out refinance and take that money to Milwaukee and grab some investment properties. I was born there, so I know the city. What do you think?
Say that again?
I plan on doing a cash out refi and take that money to Milwaukee and grab some investment properties.
Okay.
So what are your thoughts on investing in Milwaukee?
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
Yeah. So if it makes sense, then yeah.
If it make both sense and sense, do what you gotta do. All right, we gotta finish this up. It's 6:35. I just realized that.
How do I?
How long we been on this?
46 minutes.
46 minutes. Yeah. Sorry. I got 20 minutes to really get myself ready for this webinar tonight. The ladies in real estate, the women in real estate webinar. It starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have tickets, if you're in the Learning Store, I posted it in the Learning Center today. But if you're not part of the Learning Center, you have to check your email, junk or spam, check your text message, or email help@mgbookstore.com to get on it. Because tonight's going to be fire. They texting me crazy. I'm sorry. Like, I got like a million and one things going on. We'll take one more question.
What's the email?
Help at
No, not that one. Garland Group.
garlandgroup@unmb.com.
Yeah. So garlandgroup@unmb.com. Really close to qualify with NACA. Sales is slow. Should I keep pursuing qualification while finding a new job or tell them to push up? Okay, so I'm currently close to qualification with NACA, but car sales has been slow. Should I keep pursuing qualification while finding a new job or tell them to push it off for 6 months?
Keep going. Don't stop.
Keep going, don't stop.
Yep.
Okay. Any new programs available for off-campus student housing rentals, preferably to revitalize the community developments near HBCUs? Shout out to PVU.
I don't know.
You don't know.
No, I can't answer that one.
What's the best ways to avoid capital gains?
I was about to say, didn't we have this conversation yesterday? That was actually part of the webinar yesterday. You should have been part of the webinar.
Best way to avoid capital gains.
We did a whole video on this too.
Did we?
With Carter.
Oh,
The
okay.
tax video.
Yeah, y'all done lost me at that second part of the video. I checked out. I got the basics and I was like, all right, cool. And then when y'all started talking about that real estate stuff, I was like, whoa. Yeah, nah, all right. I'm going to just keep switching the cameras. Paul, we ain't making him some money, so he has to go. Paul, why you a hater, bro? Like, why you a hater, brother?
What he say?
He keeps talking.
What he say?
I don't know. He was complaining earlier about your mood.
Why
I
you
know.
complaining about my mood for? Like, what's wrong with my mood today? I don't understand. What am I doing that's wrong?
You're not you're supposed to right now.
I'm confused.
Yeah, I don't know. If I get an FHA loan, how many miles can I commute from?
If you what?
If I get an FHA loan, how many miles can I commute from?
Bro. All right. Yeah, so Women in Real Estate panel starts at 7 p.m. today. Check your emails. Yeah. So this is about to be over. Love you guys. But what's tomorrow? Wednesday? We might be back on here tomorrow. We might not. I don't know.
No, I'm not coming on here tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, you got a dinner or something tomorrow, right?
I mean, I could, but I'm not trying to be caught up because I'm going to Huntington.
Okay. So tomorrow I just need you to set this laptop so I could come on and use this shit again tomorrow.
It's already set.
It's the same thing?
Yeah, nothing different.
Okay. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This show is over. It's been real. But I have to get ready for this webinar in 20 minutes. And I have to conserve my energy because I'm going to be on this for the next 4 hours. So go to mgbookstore.com, join the Learning Center. While you're there, pick up some books. Pick up some books while you're there. Okay? You need the books. You need the education. And, so if we're not on here tomorrow, then we're not going to be back on this thing till next week. Because Thursday, Wednesday is no. Thursday, I'm not going to be doing this. I got to get ready to go to Canada.
You leave Friday?
Yeah, and I'm going out Thursday, too. I just set something up for myself. So I'm definitely not fucking with this Thursday. Definitely not.
Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna have to figure out
Friday, I'm going to Canada. I come back Monday. Maybe I'll come here straight from the plane.
I don't see that happening, but we're gonna try.
I did it last time. What are you talking about? I just did it this week.
Okay. But then you're leaving again, though.
Yeah, I'm leaving Tuesday. Let me see. Where's my flights? I need to book my Atlanta flight. I ain't booked that yet.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, next week should be cool.
So when I come back, I fly back. Yeah, I get back 11:30 Monday. So we can probably come film Monday. Can that give me enough time to run around, do what I have to do for Atlanta, and then I could come here like 4 o'clock. So we can stream Monday. We won't stream Tuesday or Wednesday.
What are we talking about Monday?
Whatever we decide.
We should probably just figure out now what we're going to talk about.
I'm not figuring that shit out. I got things to do right now. And I got 20 minutes to get my mind right.
Can we talk about VA loans on Monday?
Hell no. I'm not talking about VA loans. Join the class.
Well, I mean, we have, what is it? We are in March, going on April. So
that class starts May 9th.
Yeah, but if we're doing content every day, we got to.
I got a bunch of guests that's going to come on. We can get busy with that.
Okay. Okie dokie. Don't say I didn't say nothing, though.
Here we go.
Don't. Y'all hear this live, right? We drop videos every single day. So we come at it. We run out of ideas.
We're not running out of no ideas.
We honestly,
it's just based off of what I feel like talking about. There's tons of things I could talk about.
So
why don't I talk about them?
Yeah.
You gotta save something for later.
Yeah, but you don't always have to give like the full detailed breakdown. It ain't gonna be like a 3 hour.
You're talking to me. It's very difficult for me to give little breakdowns.
Well,
it's not easy. Look, just join the Learning Center, everybody. Join the Learning Center. Get access to the webinars. If you want detailed information. How about that?
Options. Yeah.
All right, Tooks, I got to go. It's literally 19 minutes.
Okay.
Sorry. I got to get prepared for this webinar. All right. Peace, love, and hair grease. Love y'all. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.